Okay, now I can proceed. Okay, so if you want to write this equation on mass basis, so on mass basis, that means per kg. Okay, mass basis means per kg or per whatever tons, whatever mass unit will be there. Per mass basis, that means this symbol will be become small, small q 1 to 2 will be equal to small w 1 to 2 plus small u 1 to 2. Okay, so sorry, I hope this is okay. Okay. Now next here it is writing this SAP equation for control volume. Okay. So for control volume, that means for flow system where mass can enter, mass can go out, energy can enter and energy can go out. So for control volume, what is the equation? So in last lecture I have told you control volume. That equation will be capital Q will be equal to, sorry, not equal to, sorry. Okay, capital Q plus mass flow rate M1 into in bracket enthalpy H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1. What is GZ1? G is the acceleration due to gravity and Z1 is the height of the system from the datum. Okay, so I'll take this at the bottom somewhere here. I hope it is visible to all of you. Or I will put here. Okay. Now equal to W plus mass flow rate M2 into in bracket H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2. Okay. So this equation is applicable to closed system. The system is closed. Closed system means the mass transfer is not allowed, but energy transfer can take place. That is a closed system. Okay. Open system, I have given you an example. So just wait. Okay. So for open system, I have given an example. Suppose this is a system. There is one inlet is there, and there is one outlet is there. Okay. So in this case, the fluid is entering at mass flow rate, let us say M1, enthalpy H1, velocity V1. It is leaving the system at mass flow rate M2, enthalpy H2 and velocity V2. This is a datum. Okay. So height of this inlet is Z1 and outlet height is Z2. Okay. So write down this formula because we are going to solve this shortly. Okay. Okay, so let us go to the numerical part. Okay, so I'll now erase all these annotations. I hope you have written that formula. So the formula is very important to solve the numericals. Okay. Now, very day-to-day example I have taken. This can be observed anywhere. I'll read the example, then we can solve. So it says a steel ball of mass 1 kg. A steel ball of mass 1 kg of specific heat 0.4 kilojoule per kg Kelvin is at temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. So there is a hot steel ball is there. It is dropped into 1 kg of water at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so there is a cool water is there. The final steady state temperature of the water is. the final steady state temperature of the water is. Okay. So let us first draw this thing, then you can understand it. So I'll write down the given data in this case. So you have four options. Okay. So I'll draw the diagram so that you will understand. So this is the initial case. This is the bucket filled with water. Whose temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. Now we have a hot ball at the top outside the system, which is at 60 degrees Celsius. This is the case 1. Now case 2. What is case 2? We have again the same bucket filled with water. It has water here. But in this case, the water now has that hot steel ball. The steel ball is inside of the water. And here we want to calculate the final temperature. We want to calculate the final temperature or TF. So what will happen in this case? Anybody can guess what will the heat transfer will take place? What will the heat transfer phenomena in this case? Anybody want to comment? Yes, his heat will transfer from which body to which body? From water to steel or steel to water? Yes, anybody? How the heat transfer will take place? It will transfer from steel ball to water or from water to steel ball? Yes, steel ball to water. Yes, correct. So obviously steel ball is hot. It is having higher temperature. Water is having low temperature. We have seen heat transfer takes place only when there is temperature difference. So obviously there is a temperature difference of 40 degrees Celsius. Heat transfer will take place. Now the question is from where? So heat always flows from higher temperature to low temperature at natural conditions, right? Unless you apply external work. If you apply external work, then you can reverse direction also. But under natural conditions, heat always flows from higher temperature to low temperature. Okay. Now, I will write down the given data. So what is given here? The mass of steel ball is given. I will write the symbol as MS. It is given as 1 kg. Now the specific heat for the steel ball is given. I will write it as C with suffix S, that is 0.4 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Initial temperature of steel ball is TS. I will write down TS. It is 60 degrees Celsius. Now initial mass of water, here it is 1 kg. Now C for water, it is very standard value 4.187 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. And the final or the initial temperature of water here is 20 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the equation? So this is a closed system. Now, in this case, if you consider this is a closed system. Mass cannot go outside of the system, but energy transfer can take place. So this is an example of closed system. Even the ball is dropped in the system. System is water with steel ball. So this is a closed system. Mass cannot go out, but energy transfer can take place. So in this case, if I apply the equation, Q is equal to W plus U. Okay. Now, what is happening in this case? There is no work done. We are not doing any kind of work, right? Now Q, what will the Q? Q will be the heat released by this ball. This ball will release some amount of heat, Q. Okay, so that we have to know. And U is the internal energy of the system or the water. Initially, water had some internal energy, let us say U1. After receiving heat, it will become U2. So here, simply it will be Q is equal to U. Now, what is the formula for Q? So generally we write it as a MC delta T. Okay. mc delta T. That means mass into specific heat into change in temperature. So mc delta T. This is a formula for change in internal energy for steel ball will be equal to mc delta T of water. That means whatever heat released by steel ball will be absorbed by the water. So energy conservation take place. Now here I will write down the equations. So see here mass here it is 1, C is 0.4 for steel ball into delta T means initial temperature minus final temperature. Initially it was Ts minus Tf, okay? Change in temperature. Now this will be equal to mass flow rate of water, or mass of water is 1 into its specific heat is 4.187, right? Into delta T. So now in this case, I will take Tf first because I want positive quantity, positive change in temperature. I just want change in temperature. I'm not concerned with sign convention. So I will write down Tf because we know that water temperature will rise. Final temperature will be larger than initial. So Tf minus Tw. Okay. So again, 1 into 0.4 into Ts, it is steel ball temperature 60 minus Tf is equal to 1 into 4.187 into in bracket Tf is unknown minus initial temperature water is 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now solve this. Okay, how to solve this? You take these terms on one side and another terms on other side. So here I will just put on this side, I will put 60 minus Tf. This will be equal to 1 into 4.187 divided by, so this term I will take into denominator, 1 into 0.4 into in bracket Tf minus 20. Okay. So can you solve this and directly tell me Tf value, or should I solve step by step? So it depends on you whether you want me to solve step by step or you can solve directly also. Right? I hope up to like this level of diploma engineering, you can solve such kind of equations and directly calculate Tf. But still, I will tell you how to calculate. Now calculate this term. Okay, this term you calculate. So how much that becomes? So it will become 10.46. Okay, so this will become 60 into Tf is equal to 10.46 into Tf minus 20. Okay, now I will multiply this everywhere inside. So this will become 10.46 Tf minus 10.46 into 20. This will become 209.35. Right? And on this side, obviously, I have 60 minus Tf. Now what I will do, 60 will go on that side, or I can take this on this side and this on this side. So I will take all the Tf on RHS. I will take this value on LHS. Okay, so this will become 60 plus 209.35 equal to 10 point, sorry, equal to 10.46 Tf plus Tf. Now I think you can solve it. So do the addition of this, do the addition of this, take this on this side. So I will do it. The 60, this will become 269.35. This will become 11.46 TF. So TF finally will be equal to 269.35 divided by 11.46. Okay. So somebody tell me the value of TF. Final value of TF. Final value of TF. So I will also calculate. So it becomes 23.5. Yes. Anybody has got the answer? 23.5. Yes, correct. So final temperature of the system will be 23.45. Okay. So this will be in degrees Celsius. So whatever happened here, water temperature has increased from 20 to 23 and still water temperature had dropped from 60 to 23. Okay. Now, very interesting takeaway from this example is specific heat of water is larger than steel. You can check. Specific heat of steel is 0.4. Specific heat of water is 4.187, right? So that is why in many of the foundries, in many of the application for cooling purpose, the engineers prefer water. Okay, water is having higher specific heat. That is why we prefer water for cooling applications. So if you check the IC engines, in IC engines previously they used to use water. Then water they now add some additives, nanoparticles, or better heat transfer. Right. Sometimes coolants are also used, but if you want to minimize the cost, in that case you can go with water with some additives. Right. In some case, if you take refrigeration and air conditioning, in that case also, we go with brine water. Brine water is nothing but water with salt. When we mix water with salt, the specific heat again increases. So that is why brine water is used in air conditioning applications. Okay, I hope you understood up to this point. So this was related to closed system. Now I will give you some numericals for homework. In that also you can solve it. So simply you have to use this formula, Q is equal to W plus U, but you have to check the sign convention. If the heat is absorbed, then it will be positive. If heat is released or lost, that will be negative. So sign conventions are very important. Next, we'll go. So I'll erase this data. I hope you have written all these things down. Okay, again, a small MCQ is there. Heat and work are intensive properties, extensive properties, point function, path function. Okay, so come on, chat. Very easy question is there for you. Heat and work are what? So already we have taken in last lecture MCQs. So option number D, correct. So heat and work are not properties, first of all. So A and B option, these are not valid. Point function, yes, it is not a point function because it is not a property. So whenever there is a property of system, it will be point of function. If it is not property of system, it will be path function. Okay. Let us move further. Let us not waste time with these numericals. Okay. Wait. Now another numerical I will take on ideal gas equation. Okay. So this was asked in GATE 2017 for 2 marks. Okay. Now, when you will solve this example, you will come to know that very basic questions are asked in GATE examinations. Okay. So don't go with this. We'll first focus on example. So example 1.3, volume and temperature of air assumed to be an ideal gas in a closed vessel is 2.87 meter cube and the 300 Kelvin respectively. The gauge pressure indicated by a manometer fitted to the wall of the vessel is 0.5 bar. If the gas constant is 287 for air and atmospheric pressure is 1 bar, the mass of air in the vessel is. Okay. So what they are saying here, so there is a vessel, right? Or a cylinder. We can take a cylinder also. So there is a cylinder to which a manometer is fixed. I hope you know what is manometer. Manometer is used to measure the temperature or pressure. So here what they are saying, the volume is given, that is 2.87 meter cube. Temperature T is given. In this case, this gauge pressure, it is showing the pressure of 0.5 bar. So this is a gauge pressure, okay? This is a gauge pressure. Then they have given the R value for air and the pressure, outside pressure is given as 1 bar. Okay. Now they're asking, what is the mass inside the vessel? What is the mass inside the vessel? Very simple. What is the gas law? What is the ideal gas law? PV is equal to MRT. PV is equal to MRT. Here pressure is how much? Pressure is 1 bar plus gauge pressure. What is the gauge pressure here? 0.5. So that will be total pressure. Okay. So we have learned this. Suppose this is your atmospheric pressure, PATM. And if suppose this is your gauge pressure, which is shown by the instruments, PG. So the total pressure, suppose this is a 0 bar datum. So total pressure will be this much. So that will be equal to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. So total pressure will be 1.5 bar. Volume is how much? 2.87. Temperature is how much? 300 Kelvin. Always convert the temperature into Kelvin. R is given 287. What else we need? Okay. I think this is sufficient. So I will put this into that equation 1.5 bar. Okay. Again, bar I have to convert into Pascal. So this will be 1.5 into 10 to power 5 Pascals. So 1.5 into 10 to power 5 into volume is 2.87 is equal to M is unknown into 287 into 300. So calculate mass, very simple example. Calculate mass. Those who are just looking at screen, assuming this is one kind of pravachan I am giving, some motivational speak or something else I am speaking, they should also try to solve it. Okay, this is not a pravachan for you. This is a lecture of applied thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is one of the toughest subject in engineering because it takes a patience to understand the concept. Okay, other subject like machine design, SOM, these are very easy to understand and very easy to visualize. The deflection of bar, principal strain, etc. etc. These are easy to visualize. But in thermodynamics, it takes patience to visualize, to understand things. Okay, so better you practice in lectures so that you won't face problems while self-study. Anyway, we are going to do self-study from the notes. So that time it will be very easy for you to understand the concepts. Okay, what is the answer? Only one person has calculated 43.05. So it is not in the options. How come? So calculate properly. This is 1.5 into 10 to power 5 pressure. 2.87. This is 2.87. Okay, this is 2.87. This is mass. This is 287. This is 300. I think you are not taken 2.87 here. Take this as 2.87 and then calculate, because your answers are not in the options. Yes, Akanksha. Mass is 5 kg, right? So 5 will be the correct answer. Others also cross check. What I'm saying here, this is not 287. This is 2.87. I hope there we made some mistake. 2.87 is equal to. Okay. I will also calculate with you. 1.5 into 2.87 divided by 287 into 300. So it comes out to be 5. Okay. What is the unit? Unit will be kg. Okay. Right. Next, we'll move to the next example. I will rub down this. I hope you have drawn all these calculations. Next is related to flow systems. Okay. Next is related to flow systems. Okay. Example number 4. The inlet and outlet conditions of steam for adiabatic steam turbine are as indicated in the notations are as usually followed. The mass flow rate of steam through the turbine is 20 kilogram per second. The power output of the turbine in megawatt is. So as you can see, there is a turbine. Okay. This is the inlet at 1. This is the outlet at 0.2. The conditions are given, enthalpy is given, volume is given, height is given, pressure is given. So all these conditions are given. You are asked to calculate what will the power output of the turbine. Okay. Now don't get frightened because it is a turbine. So we are not studied turbine. So we don't know anything about steam turbine. How you are asking me such questions or at this level. Don't get tense. Okay. It is just an example of control volume. Okay. How is it? I will show you. Okay. Now see how it is a control volume. So what I told the control volume, mass can enter, yes, mass can leave. So again, energy can transfer, energy can be received. So in that case, this becomes a control volume, right? Now see here, the conditions are already given. We have to just put into the equation. Okay. Now I will write down the equation here. What is the SFE equation is? Steady flow energy equation. Q plus M1 into H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1. Right? This one equal to W plus M2 H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2. Okay. Now in this case, M1 is equal to M2 because they are not given the M2 value. So we are assuming that mass flow rate is constant. So in this case, there is no heat transfer. So this is 0. So this will reduce. This equation will reduce to M. I'll just write down M. M into H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1. This will be equal to, again, W will be there, work output plus mass flow rate into H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2. Okay, M2. So not M2, there will be simply M. Now I will put the values and let us solve it. So I'll put this on next page because it will create a problem for me. Okay, so mass flow rate here it is 20 kilogram per second into enthalpy how much? 3200 kilojoule per kg. So 3200. Now it is given in kilojoules. So I have to convert it into joule plus velocity is given 160 meter per second. So 160 square divided by 2. Here G is 9.81. Okay. Into Z1. How much is Z1 here? 10 meter. 10 meters. This will equal to W, which is unknown, plus mass flow rate 20 into in bracket. How much is H2? 2600 kilojoule per kg. So I will multiply by 10 to power 3. Okay. So 10 to power 3 plus what is V2? 100 meter square. Okay. 100 meter square by 2 plus 9.81 into Z2 is 6 meters. Okay. Now calculate values for this bracket, calculate the value for this bracket and tell me in the chat box. So first tell me what will be this bracket, first bracket 20 into 3200. Okay, calculate that one. I will also calculate with you. Let us cross check each other's answers. Or if anybody is smart enough, he can go for calculation of W directly. Okay, so this one comes out to be 64, 257, 962. Okay, and this one comes out to be, so I'll calculate once again, 20 into in bracket into 600 into 10 to the power 3 plus in bracket 100 square by 2 into, so not into, plus 9.81 into 6. So it comes out to be 52, 101, 177.2. Okay, so I'll write down this on next slide. I'll go to the next slide. Here I will continue this problem. So this one comes out to be what? 642, 57, 962 will be equal to W plus 52, 101, 177.2. Calculate the W, how much it will come? Yes, what answer you are getting? I may be wrong here. 1.233. Okay, 1.23. Okay. Okay. But is there option for that? So what I'm getting here, it is 12.157. So please correct with yours. What I'm getting here, it is 12.156. So this will come in megawatt. Okay. So this actually gives you W is equal to, so I will take from my answer 12.156, 784.8. Now if you want, so this will come in watts, right? If you want to convert this into megawatts, so you have to divide by 10 to power 6. So this will give you this answer. Okay. I hope you are understanding. I will take one more numerical. I hope everybody is getting the same answer, right? So here option number A is correct. Option number A is what? 12.157. That is a correct answer. Okay, so I will erase all this. Okay. So let me check what is the next example here. Okay, now so this is related to second. We'll take one more numerical. We'll take one more numerical. I'll just upload that numerical here. Let us see we can solve it. Okay, so just I will for a moment I will turn off this screen share, and then we can go to the next example. I will copy that numerical into the PPT. Okay. I hope you are understanding. If anybody is facing problem, you can ask. Okay, I hope it is there. Yes, I will write down it as an example. Example 5. Okay, so again I will share my screen. Share. And we'll solve this numerical. Okay, I hope the numerical is visible to all of you. It says steam at an initial enthalpy of 100 kilojoule per kg and initial velocity of 100 meter per second enters an insulated horizontal nozzle. It leaves the nozzle at 200 meter per second. The exit enthalpy is. So here, initially we had, in last example, we had turbine. Here we have a nozzle. So what nozzle actually looks like? It will look something like this. Okay, so in nozzle, the cross-section area goes on decreasing. So for nozzle, we have various examples. So in general, we have nozzles for water jets. In spacecraft applications, they also have nozzles at the bottom of the spacecraft. So nozzles have very wide applications. Mostly in power plant engineering, nozzles are used to increase the kinetic energy of the fluid, because after nozzle we get turbine. So whatever fluid is coming out of nozzle, it has very high enthalpy. It falls onto the turbine, and on turbine, it rotates the turbine wheel. Its shaft is connected to the generator, and then in generator, electricity is generated. So here we have a nozzle. It is there. Initially, it enters, or the enthalpy here it is given. So sorry. So h1 is given and velocity v1 is given. Here h2 will be here and v2 will be here. What will happen in this case? Enthalpy will decrease, but velocity will increase. So again, in this case, again, I will write down the SFE equation. What is SFE equation for control volume? So we know that SFE equation is Q plus mass flow rate H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus GZ1 is equal to W plus M2 into H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus GZ2. Okay. Now, in this case, they have given the nozzle is insulated. That means the outer portion of nozzle is insulated. So that means there will be no heat transfer. So this heat transfer will be 0. Okay. Again, they have given it is a horizontal nozzle. So horizontal nozzle means all these heights Z will be 0. Again, in this case, they have not given mass flow rate. So I will write this equation on mass basis. So on mass basis, so here on mass basis equation will be H1 plus V1 square by 2 will be equal to W plus H2 plus V2 square by 2. Again, in this case, this is a nozzle. In nozzle, no work is done. So work done is also 0. So this will be also 0. So now the equation reduces to H1 plus V2 square by 2 is equal to H2 divided by V2 square by 2. So this is on mass basis. H1 is given in this case, that is 100 kilojoule per kg plus velocity is given, that is 100 meter square. So this will be 100 meter square by 2 will be equal to enthalpy H2 is not given plus velocity is given, that is 200 meter square by 2. Now do these calculations and calculate the value of enthalpy H2. Now tell me whether it is increasing or it is decreasing. Yes. What is the value? Anybody has calculated? Yes. Others calculate. Shubham has calculated. Others also calculate. If you are not understanding the problem, please ask. I will explain. So this example you can relate anywhere. Suppose you have a nozzle at your home. म्हणजे आपल्या घरी पाईप असते, पाईपच्या पुढे आपण नोझल लावतो. Because we want large flow rate through the opening. आपल्याला जास्त वेलोसिटीने पाणी पाहिजे असतं. त्या केसमध्ये आपण काय करतो, पाईपच्या सुरुवातीच्या तोंडाला आपण नोझल लावतो. त्या केसमध्ये देखील तुम्हाला जर एन्थाल्पी ड्रॉप कडे असेल तुम्ही काढू शकता. तुम्हाला फक्त इनिशियल वेलोसिटी, फायनल वेलोसिटी माहित पाहिजे. In that case you can calculate the enthalpy drop. Again, nozzle is very important property, and mostly people, most the industries, MNC, they are in this business of nozzle manufacturing. Very delicate job it is. again, if you are studying internal combustion engine, I see in that case also there is fuel nozzle is there, right? So if you are studying CI engines, compression ignition engines, in that case we have fuel nozzles. So fluid is entered at very high pressure through nozzles. Okay, so in your syllabus you may study in CI engines, or in chapter number 3 or 4 we have this fuel system for engines. In fuel system for CI engines, you will come to know about fuel nozzles. Very large applications for nozzles we have. Yes, what is the answer? Only one students have calculated, others also calculate. 85 watt. So calculate, others. Again, see here. Okay, my mistake. See here. Again, I forgot to convert this enthalpy into joules. So this should be converted for this first into joules. Then you can calculate. Okay. So this should be 100 into 10 to power 3 plus this one. So always take care into consideration the units. So I will also calculate here 100 plus 100 square divided by 2 minus 200 square divided by 2. So I will get 85,000. So this will be 85,000 joule per kilogram. Or I can write down 85 kilojoule per kg. So you can see this, the enthalpy is reduced, but there is increasing velocity. Enthalpy तुमची 100 ची 85 झाली, but तुमची velocity 100 ची 200 meter per second झाली. So at the expense of enthalpy, velocity has increased, but the total amount of energy in the system remains constant, right? So if you calculate the kinetic energy at the start, and if you calculate total energy at the start, this will be conserved at the outlet also. So this is by first law of thermodynamics. The total energy in the system is conserved. It is also called as law of conservation of energy. Okay. Now we'll take a 5 minutes break. You can relax. If you want to go to bathroom, or if you want to have a cup of tea, you can have. We'll come again back at 11:15. Okay. So I will be waiting here for you. We'll come back at 11:15. If you want to relax, you can relax. If you want to take a cup of tea or go to bathroom, go to the loo, you can go.